The sudden challenge life often presents moments that are completely unexpected, moments where routine is shattered and the familiar is replaced by uncertainty. In a classroom, a student was suddenly asked to perform in front of everyone, a task meant as a joke, but one that instantly demanded courage. Pressure has a unique way of revealing potential, forcing the mind to adapt, focus, and confront the unknown. It is in these sudden, unplanned circumstances that latent abilities often emerge, waiting quietly for the right spark. Facing fear head-on, fear is natural, instinctive, and unavoidable. Yet true growth begins when fear is acknowledged and met with action rather than avoidance. The student, initially hesitant, anxious, realized that the moment required not perfection but presence. Courage is not the absence of fear, it is the decision to act despite it. In the seconds leading to the performance, every heartbeat, every thought sharpened, creating a clarity that routine safety could never provide. Authentic expression when the student finally stepped forward, it was authenticity that made the first impact. The voice, though untrained and raw, carried emotion and sincerity that resonated with the audience. Talent is amplified when it is genuine. Technical skill alone rarely inspires. Observers feel the courage behind the act, and authenticity bridges the gap between performer and audience. It is this combination of bravery and real emotion that leaves a lasting impression. Catalyzing change, the performance sent ripples across the classroom and beyond. Peers were inspired, teachers reflected on the courage displayed, and the atmosphere of the schools subtly shifted. Moments like these demonstrate that individual actions have a broader impact, influencing culture, perception, and motivation. Courage is contagious. When witnessed, it encourages others to confront their own fears, take risks, and act beyond their comfort zones. Lessons beyond the curriculum. Traditional education teaches facts, logic, and procedures, but experiences like this impart lessons that cannot be measured in grades. They teach resilience, self-belief, and the power of vulnerability. Students learn that growth often happens when uncertainty is embraced, and that personal and collective development are intertwined. Every act of bravery, no matter how small, reinforces the idea that challenges are opportunities in disguise. Transforming perceptions by facing fear and taking action, the student redefined how potential and capability were viewed by everyone present. What was once a simple classroom was transformed into a space of possibility where courage could redefine expectations. Peers began to question their own limits, realizing that ability is not fixed but can be discovered under the right circumstances through authenticity, resilience, and fearless action. The hidden force pressure is often seen as an obstacle, something to avoid or minimize. Yet it has a unique ability to uncover strengths that remain dormant in comfort. When the stakes are high, the human mind adapts, sharpens, and stretches beyond habitual limits. Ordinary routines cannot reveal extraordinary capability, but the right challenge acts as a catalyst, pushing individuals to access skills they did not realize they possessed. Disruption breeds creativity under pressure. Familiar patterns of thinking are disrupted, forcing the brain to find new pathways. Decisions must be made quickly, solutions crafted with limited resources, and confidence tested under scrutiny. This disruption, while uncomfortable, sparks creativity and problem-solving at a level often unreachable in controlled or predictable environments. The constraints themselves become the fuel for innovation and insight. Instinct over practice. Sometimes pressure exposes not learned techniques, but instinctive brilliance. A person may rely on intuition, responding with precision and clarity that cannot be rehearsed. Skills that appear unpolished in calm conditions can become strikingly effective when urgency demands action. The tension of the moment transforms latent potential into performance, and hesitation gives way to decisive execution. The role of resilience. Pressure also tests emotional and mental resilience. Beyond skill, it evaluates how individuals respond to uncertainty, criticism, or unexpected challenges. Those who embrace the situation rather than shrink from it often discover a capacity for endurance, focus, and adaptability they had never recognized. Resilience under stress magnifies potential by allowing sustained performance where others falter. Lessons from observation. When potential emerges under pressure, it does not only impact the individual, it inspires observers as well. Witnessing someone rise to a challenge sparks belief and motivation in others. It demonstrates that limits are often self-imposed and that talent can manifest in ways previously unimagined. The ripple effect of such moments transforms not just performance but perception. Unlocking possibility ultimately, pressure is not an enemy but a revealing force. It strips away assumptions, exposes hidden abilities, and challenges individuals to reach beyond the ordinary. The potential discovered under such conditions often reshapes the trajectory of growth, learning, and achievement, showing that adversity, when approached with courage and focus, is a gateway to extraordinary capability. The nature of hesitation. Hesitation is a natural response to uncertainty, risk, or fear. It slows decisions, dims initiative, and often keeps potential locked behind invisible walls. While caution has its place, prolonged hesitation prevents growth and limits opportunity. Courage acts as the key to unlock action, transforming doubt into momentum and possibility. Decision in the face of fear. True courage is not the absence of fear, but the deliberate choice to move forward despite it. When faced with a challenge, hesitation may seem safer, but it often leads to stagnation. Acting with courage allows the mind to shift focus from what could go wrong to what could be achieved, creating clarity in moments of uncertainty. Momentum through action. Once action begins, has its power. Courage converts thought into motion, and momentum builds with each step taken. The first move, often the hardest, sets a trajectory that enables problem-solving, adaptation, and growth. Courage catalyzes performance by turning indecision into measurable progress. Inspiration beyond self-courageous action impacts not just the individual, but also those who witness it. Overcoming hesitation sets an example, demonstrating that fear can be confronted and surpassed. It encourages others to take initiative, fostering a culture where action outweighs doubt and collective confidence grows. Building inner resilience. Each act of courage strengthens the internal framework for future challenges. Overcoming hesitation reinforces self-belief and mental resilience, proving that obstacles are not insurmountable. The repeated practice of acting despite fear trains the mind to respond with focus, determination, and strategic clarity under pressure. Unlocking potential. Courage does more than overcome hesitation. It unlocks hidden capabilities. Hesitation keeps talent dormant, but decisive action brings latent skills to light. When individuals embrace courage, they move beyond self-imposed limits, discover previously unrecognized abilities, and reshape the boundaries of what is possible. The power of being real. Authenticity is a force that transcends skill, technique, or preparation. When individuals act and speak from genuine intention, their presence carries a resonance that cannot be manufactured. People instinctively recognize sincerity, and authenticity becomes the bridge between performer and audience, leader and team, or innovator and community. Emotional connection. Genuine actions evoke emotional responses that linger longer than technical excellence. When someone communicates authentically, whether through words, music, or performance, it creates a shared human experience. This emotional resonance fosters trust, empathy, and engagement, forming a connection that logic or strategy alone cannot achieve. Confidence through truth. Authenticity requires courage, the willingness to show flaws, doubts, and unpolished talent. This vulnerability signals confidence, a quiet assurance in one's identity and vision. People are drawn to those who embrace imperfection, understanding that truthfulness reflects integrity and resilience rather than weakness. Amplifying impact. When actions are authentic, their influence multiplies. An honest expression of thought or creativity inspires others to engage, take risks, and contribute openly. Authenticity creates a feedback loop where sincerity generates trust, trust empowers action, and collective effort produces results far beyond what scripted or artificial approaches could achieve. Alignment of intent and action. Resonance arises when intent and action align seamlessly. People can sense when words are hollow or actions are performed for appearances. Authenticity eliminates this dissonance, ensuring that the message, emotion, and purpose are coherent. This alignment magnifies impact and creates a lasting impression on both individuals and groups. Building legacy. Authenticity is not merely a personal attribute, It shapes perception and influence over time. Genuine effort, emotion, and courage leave marks that endure, inspiring reflection, emulation, and growth in others. When authenticity resonates, it transforms moments into meaningful experiences and individuals into catalysts for positive change. Small actions, big influence. Every action, no matter how small, carries the potential to create effects far beyond immediate perception. A single gesture, word, or decision can influence thoughts, behaviors, and outcomes in ways that are often invisible at first. These initial ripples, though subtle, have the power to expand, shaping environments and communities over time. Unseen connections. The ripple effect works because actions rarely exist in isolation. People observe, react, and adapt, causing a chain reaction that extends into networks, systems, and relationships. What starts as a personal decision can influence a classroom, a workplace, or even a wider society as interconnected individuals respond to the signals sent by one courageous or thoughtful act. Inspiration multiplied. When one person rises to a challenge or acts with authenticity, it encourages others to do the same. Courage and initiative are contagious. The ripple effect magnifies this influence. Observing someone overcome fears, speak truth, or demonstrate resilience can motivate peers to confront their own challenges, fostering a culture where action is valued over hesitation. Amplifying impact through visibility. Ripples gain momentum when they are witnessed and shared. Visibility of actions and outcomes accelerates influence, creating an environment where inspiration spreads rapidly. Leaders, innovators, and change-makers understand that demonstrating effort, authenticity, and bravery publicly magnifies the effect, reaching far beyond the original context. Long-term transformation ripples are not only immediate, they accumulate over time, creating lasting transformations. Small decisions and actions consistently applied shape perceptions, habits, and systems. The cumulative effect of these seemingly minor interventions can redefine expectations, unlock potential, and drive continuous improvement across individuals and communities. Multiplying human potential. Ultimately, the ripple effect demonstrates that influence is never linear or confined. Each act of courage, authenticity, or innovation expands possibilities, inspiring others to act and amplifying the collective capacity for change. This phenomenon illustrates that human potential is interconnected, and the impact of one person's actions can extend far beyond what they initially envision. Redefining weakness. Vulnerability is often perceived as a flaw, a sign of weakness that must be concealed. Yet true strength emerges when one allows themselves to be open and honest about limitations, fears, or uncertainties. Embracing vulnerability creates space for growth, learning, and authentic connection that rigid defenses cannot achieve. Courage and transparency. Showing vulnerability requires courage, the willingness to reveal inner thoughts, emotions, and doubts. This transparency signals confidence in one's identity and vision, inspiring others to act authentically. Courageously embracing vulnerability transforms moments of exposure into powerful demonstrations of resilience and character. Strength through self-awareness. Vulnerability deepens self-awareness. Recognizing what one does not know or where one feels uncertain is a foundation for improvement. By confronting personal limitations directly, individuals can strategically focus on growth, innovation, and problem solving in ways that hidden weaknesses would otherwise inhibit. Building trust and connection. When individuals are vulnerable, they foster trust and empathy in others. Admitting mistakes, asking for guidance, or sharing doubts encourages collaborative engagement. This relational strength enhances teamwork, communication, and influence, proving that authentic openness can create deeper and more sustainable impact than force or authority alone. Resilience through exposure. Repeatedly practicing vulnerability strengthens emotional resilience. Each act of openness equips the mind to handle future adversity, criticism, or failure with confidence and composure. Vulnerability becomes a training ground for perseverance, where courage and self-reflection reinforce each other to produce durable inner strength. Unlocking potential. Vulnerability is not simply a personal trait, it shapes opportunities and outcomes. By embracing uncertainty and exposing their authentic selves, Individuals unlock creativity, insight, and influence that would otherwise remain untapped. This dynamic demonstrates that strength is not the absence of fear, but the ability to act and connect meaningfully despite it. Education beyond walls. True learning extends far beyond textbooks and classrooms. While structured lessons provide knowledge, real understanding emerges when individuals engage with experiences, challenges, and environments outside traditional settings. These moments cultivate insight, critical thinking, and adaptability that formal instruction alone cannot provide. Lessons from real challenges experiences outside the classroom often present unanticipated problems that test creativity, resilience, and judgment. Confronting these challenges develops skills in decision-making, problem-solving, and emotional intelligence, showing that growth is most profound when it occurs in real-world contexts. Self-directed discovery learning beyond the classroom encourages curiosity and self-direction. Individuals explore topics driven by interest and necessity rather than structured curricula, which enhances engagement and retention. This autonomy fosters innovation, initiative, and confidence, transforming learners into proactive thinkers. Collaboration and observation interactions with diverse people and environments provide lessons in teamwork, empathy, and communication.